As we're now less than 2 weeks away from the tournament commencing, this video will see us try to predict the entirety of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. How hard can it be? Very hard, it seems, basically, because we've got 48 teams. We've got to put them all into the groups, who advances, and just see what happens. So Group A, we're starting off with Mexico, South Korea, South Africa, and Czechia. We're already in an interesting one here. So if we just click, okay, so that's how it's going to work. Oh, does that say, do I have Mexico first? I'll just put them all in there. So I think I might be comfortable putting South Africa in the bottom. I've also just realized this is all just going to end up being used in edits as saying is like, oh, look at everyone who did it, because it was like the Socceroos back in the one in Qatar 4 years ago. I don't mind that, but then again, do I think South Korea would beat Mexico? I reckon this could be a draw or something, so this I think would be very close. But I might back this. I actually might back this. Czech Republic first, Mexico, South Korea third. Okay, Group B, Canada, Switzerland, Qatar, and Bosnia and Herzegovina. I think it'll be an interesting battle between these two, between Canada and Switzerland. You know what? I think Canada might win the group. I think Switzerland comes second, I think Bosnia come third, and Qatar come fourth. Group C, Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, and Haiti. I think it should just be like this, in my personal opinion. If Scotland, to be fair, I don't expect them getting a result against Morocco and Brazil. But if Scotland don't get a result against Haiti, then no disrespect to Haiti, what on earth? Now, this is where it gets interesting. Group D, the United States, Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey. Basically, this group is just teams that everyone think, oh, we'll get second place in our group. Oh, we're all in the same group. Shit. Genuinely, I feel like there's a mix of like, you could put like these absolutely anywhere and be like, all right, fair enough. But I don't know how this is going to play out. I think... I don't know. This is genuinely the hardest group to predict. I don't know. I'm going to stick with this. This is a group you're just going to have no clue for. Okay, now we go into Group E. You got Germany, Ecuador, Cote d'Ivoire, and Curacao. I'm going to say... Then again, Germany weren't too great in the last World Cup, but I do expect them to be sort of up top. I'll back the Ivory Coast to... Coming in a second, I think Ecuador can get third. Much as nice to see Curacao in this, I don't know how they're going to go in this World Cup, though. Okay, Group F, you got the Netherlands, Japan, Tunisia, and Sweden. This is another one where you could kind of throw it about either way. I think we're going to have the Dutch up top. Now, or do we have Sweden, Tunisia, or Japan? I feel like Tunisia are a team that could definitely frustrate a lot of teams. I mean, to be fair, they got a victory against France in 2022, but I just think it's going to be something like this, unfortunately, but would be cool to see Tunisia do well. Group G, you've got Belgium, Iran, Egypt, and New Zealand. Oh, this is another one this is another one I'm a little bit questionable about. I think Belgium could get top, then it's just, I don't know. I reckon Egypt should be up there. This will be an interesting game, New Zealand, Iran. We give it to our Trans-Tasman brothers in New Zealand. Okay, Group H, you've got Spain, Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, and Cape Verde. And I feel like that's just how I think the group's going to come out as, just in that order. I think it's pretty smooth sailing, I guess. But against Saudi Arabia could get interesting results. I mean, they beat Argentina in their first game of the World Cup last year. Yeah, good to see Cape Verde in there, though. Now we go to Group I. You got France, Senegal, Norway, and Iraq. Need to be careful of what I said here, because I may have said a statement of when Graham Arnold became Iraq's coach that the good people of Iraq have liked to remind me of. Yeah, I think France go top here. I reckon, this Norway-Senegal, that should actually be a banger of a match. So I think Norway gets second, I think Senegal third, and I think Iraq, unfortunately, will come fourth. But if Iraq can get points, big ups to them. Group J sees Argentina, Austria, Algeria, and Jordan. They really try to shove all the teams with A in here. This, I think Argentina being up there is probably a fair enough get. I think Austria could be able to get second, and I think it'll just be the same order. Algeria third and Jordan fourth. Group K sees Portugal, Colombia, Uzbekistan, and the DR Republic of the Congo. I will say that I think Portugal should top the group. Colombia should come second. This will be interesting. Uzbekistan versus DR Congo. I might just edge this out to DR Congo. I think that'd be a very good game to see. But yeah, I think Uzbekistan might bow out. But again, both their countries' first World Cup. So Group L, which is another interesting one. England, Croatia, Panama, and Ghana. Like, realistically, it should be something like this. But then again, England were not convincing in the Euros a couple of years ago. But they did still end up making the final. Panama, Ghana. I reckon it'd stay something like that. I reckon Panama could get a result over Ghana, and that's going to wrap out all the group stages. So now we've got to decide which are going to be the 8th best third place teams to get through. So we kind of have to keep scrolling back to look at what we have. I think South Korea advanced through because I feel like they can get a win against South Africa. I reckon they can get a result against either one of these teams. So I think it's all right. Bosnia could get a result as well, you know. Scotland can as well. Australia, I don't know. We were not convincing against Mexico recently. Ecuador, I personally don't think so. I think Japan will. New Zealand, I'm not really sure. I think Saudi Arabia does. Senegal, I think, should get a good result. This is the thing. It's going to become very close-knit. I think we'll go with Algeria. I'm going to have faith. I'm going to have faith and have the Aussies here. Oh. Okay, we've changed it up now. Sorry about that. I didn't want to go through the whole, you got to pay your license in it. Typical English. All right, Mexico versus Switzerland. I think this could be a big landmark moment in Mexican football, so I think Mexico get the win. Germany versus Korea Republic. This is a match that's had recent history because South Korea did knock out Germany from the World Cup a couple of years ago. I think it was it last year or the year before? One of the two. But I'm going to say I think Germany are going to get their revenge and advance. Now you got Netherlands versus Morocco. That's a big game. And I'm going to say that I think Morocco go through. Brazil versus Sweden. I'm just going to say I think Brazil get that one there. France versus Bosnia and Herzegovina. I think France should be able to get that result done. But again, it's another interesting game. Ivory Coast versus Norway. I think Haaland's just going to be too good. Czechia, Australia. That's doable, you know. That is a doable game. I don't know. But then again, Czechia might be able to get the win. We're going to back the boys. England versus Scotland. Now, that would be mental for a round of 32 clash. But I feel like if that was the case, I think England would be in that. United States versus Saudi Arabia. There's going to be a lot of jokes made about that one. But I'm going to say that I think the USA win that. Belgium, Senegal. I'll actually give it to Senegal. Spain, Austria. I reckon Spain win that. Canada, Algeria. I think Canada actually win that. Argentina, Uruguay. That'd be a pretty decent round of 32 game, but I think Argentina wins that. Portugal, Japan. I think Portugal wins that. Turkey, Croatia. Even interesting one. I'm going to go with Croatia. Egypt, Colombia. Ooh, I don't know. I think Colombia get the win. Okay. Now we're into the round of 16. Germany versus France. A belter of a game. I don't know. I'm going to say, I think France win that. Mexico, Morocco, another belter of a game. I don't know who wins. I think Morocco might just edge that out. Brazil versus Norway. That would be a very interesting game if that was to take place. I just think that Brazil will just have too much manpower. This would be a mental round of 16 match if it did happen. Australia versus England. I think England would win that, just to be completely honest. Spain versus Canada. Pretty interesting game, but I think Spain would win that. USA, Senegal. I think Senegal should be able to put the hosts out too far out of reach. Portugal versus Colombia. I don't know about this one. Might just give the edge out to Portugal. Argentina, Croatia. I'm going to go, so I think Argentina win that. Now we're into the quarterfinals. And we've got a reheat from last time. France versus Morocco in the quarterfinals of the World Cup. I think France might edge it out this time, but then again, you don't know. Could happen a couple of months down the line where all of a sudden Morocco unofficially win it. Spain versus Senegal. That'll be interesting, but I think Spain are just going to be too good. Brazil versus England. I don't know if this is going to be a hot take or not. I think England win. I think England beat Brazil in that game. It's going to be a bit of a shocking one. Portugal versus Argentina. Quite possibly a match between Messi and Ronaldo probably one of the last times they'll ever play each other if this was to happen. Quarterfinal, obviously people would probably prefer it if it was down here, but I don't know where it's going to be. Argentina. This is going to be tricky. Okay, semi-finals. France versus Spain. Honestly, probably a lot of people would think this would be the final. I think Spain go through. England, Argentina as a semi-final would be mental. I think Argentina go through. Spain versus Argentina as a World Cup final. I think Spain do it. So there we have it. After the entire bracket and everything was sorted, I believe that the 2026 World Cup winners will be Spain. Who do you guys have this year? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all later.